In this video, we're going to have a look at creating scenarios. Scenarios are a forecasting tool which enables you to change values by creating a kind of what-if situation. Okay, it assists in decision making because it allows you to see the impact that different situations may have on your figures. Okay, so the example that we're going to have a look at just now shows basic income and expenditure, which results in a net income. Okay, and we're going to have a look to see how external factors affect the expenses and the figures that we have. Okay, so let's open up the file first of all. Share my screen. Okay, so as I say, what I've got here is forecasted income. Okay, so we've got year one actual figures. So we have our income, okay, we have our expenditure, and we have our net income based on income minus expenditure, or income minus outgoings as it is in this particular example. Okay, so our year two projected figures then, okay, is based on a 15% increase, okay, on our income figure and a 10% increase on the outgoings. Okay, so we've got the formula in here that it would be B6 plus B6 times the 15%. Remember the B6 times the E6, okay, the 1,500,000 times the 15% to get the actual projected increase, and adding that back on to the actual income, okay, in B6. And similarly for the outgoings, okay, we've got the actual outgoings for year one plus the actual times the projected increase, okay, in cell E7. Okay, so let's have a look at setting up three different scenarios, okay, to see the effect of changing these projected increases for income and expenditure. Okay, so we're going to have a scenario for maybe the maximum, the minimum, and maybe the average, okay, or middle. Okay, so we're looking to find the best case scenario. Okay, so we're going to, it doesn't matter which cell you click into. Okay, so just any one of the blank cells, and we're going to go to the data menu. Okay, once my floating toolbar disappears. Okay. Okay, now I've managed to pause you. Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm trying to get to the data. Bear with me while this floating toolbar floats about. Okay, so data. Okay, we're going over to the forecast section, the what if analysis. Okay, so when we click down there, we've got something called Scenario Manager. Okay, so we have no scenarios defined. Okay, so we're going to add one. Okay, scenario name, we're going to call it maximum or max. Okay, and the cells that we want to change are the cells E6 and E7. Okay, the projected percentages for income and outgoings. Okay, so it tells me here that's created by myself on today's date. Okay, so we're going to click on OK. Okay, so enter values for each of the changing cells. Okay, so E6, it's got the existing 15%. We're going to say 22%. Okay, so you can either type in the 22%, okay, or you can put in 0.22. Okay, so we're also going to there and say that the projected for the outgoings is going to remain at 10%. Okay, so just to show you, I can put in the 10% there. I'm going to click on add. Okay, I'm going to create another scenario and I'm going to say minimum. Okay, again, changing cells E6 to E7 and just click on OK. And we're going to assume, okay, 14% increase for each. Okay, click on add again. And we're just going to say kind of like average, maybe middle of the road kind of scenario here. Okay, we're going to say income is going to increase by 16%. And, oops, 16, Heather. And our outgoings or expenditure, okay, are going to increase by 12. Okay, so click on OK this time. So you've got add, delete, edit, merge, and summary. Okay, so we'll come back to summary in a minute. Okay, but obviously delete and edit quite speak for themselves. Merge, you can merge in from another file altogether. We're just interested at the moment in adding another one if we wanted to, deleting one or editing one if we want to change the percentages. Okay, so you can just click on one of the scenarios and say show, and you can see here that it's changed the values in our year 2 projected cells, okay, based on the information that we've put into the scenario. Minimum changes again, and average. Just click on show. Okay, so we can also click on the summary, okay, and what the summary will do, okay, we can have a scenario summary or a scenario pivot table, okay, so the resulting cells, okay, would be B13, okay, because it's the net income that we're looking at, so it's defaulted to that, okay, just click on OK, and we'll get a scenario summary sheet. Okay, so it's telling us that the maximum, minimum and average values, okay, by changing cells E6 and E7, the current values, okay, at the moment I've got are 16 and 12 because that's the scenario that's on the screen at the moment. Okay, we've got 22 and 10 and we've got 14 and 14. So it's telling you, okay, what the income, okay, the new net income or projected net income for year two would be based on those sets of values. Okay, I'm going to go back onto sheet 1 and I'm going to say what if analysis scenario manager, and we can also click on summary, okay, and we can have a little pivot table. Okay, and the little pivot table will just show you again what the values are going to be in B13, okay, based on the information that we have populated them with. Okay, so just pop that into money. Okay, we'll have a look at pivot tables again in more detail, okay, but this is just a kind of basic pivot table that's telling us that based on the information provided, okay, the net income, if the average percentages of 16 and 12, okay, this is the value we'd get, the maximum of 22 and 10, and the minimum. Okay, so these are the situations. So obviously the maximum would be the best case scenario, okay, where income was to increase by 22% and our outgoings were only going to increase by 10%. Okay, so that is how we create a what if scenario. Okay, thank you for watching.